And the referee this evening is Paul Simpkins. About to get us underway. He blows time on. It's Ben Walker doing the kickoff. It's a deep one. In fact, had David Peachey left it might well have travelled over the dead ball line on the full. It's Nutley who brings it back into play. They come to the right-hand side. That's where Stevens hits it up towards the 20. The Sharks will be running into this gale force breeze almost in this first 40 minutes. They work it forward now. Gallen driven sideways in the tackle. A long time it took them to get him to ground, but he plays it about 25 out from his own line. Bailey down this right-hand side will do plenty of that tonight despite playing in the centres. Kimmorley, a short ball to his left-hand side to Nutley to take it up again. And they'll play it here on the last tackle. Kimmorley kicking from outside the 40 will send Hopewadi back inside his own 20. And he'll pick it up and see a pretty good chase and run the risk of being pushed over the sideline here. They almost got him across there.
Yeah, it's always a risk, isn't it, in these type of conditions? Very windy and a little bit slippery underfoot to flirt with the sideline. And Hopewadi, of course, backing his strength. Been one of the Eagles' better players all season, continually making over 200 metres a game.
King has stopped just outside his own 30. Plays it back to Randall. Spent some time out injured recently with a bleeding eye. Suffered in the game against the Melbourne Storm a couple of weeks ago now at Brookvale Oval on a wet Sunday. And now this kick from Walker is a terrific one. It will stay inside the in-goal area. And Matthew Reek will have to bring it back, and he brings it back only a couple of metres into the field of play.
And it's so important when you've got the wind behind you, you get to your kick early in the tackle count. Try and build as much pressure on the opposition as you possibly can. The downside to having a strong wind at your back is your kicking game must be spot on. The ball continues to roll with the wind.
You're flopping back down on him, Solomon.
The first penalty of the game comes. You just can't afford
to find the line, Laurie.
Yeah, sorry there, Warren. You just can't afford when you've got the wind to be giving away cheap penalties like that. The Sharks will find it extremely difficult to get out.
Gallen, who takes it forward. What a fast play of the ball, and here's Nutley now. Getting a good roll on, hit by Solomon Hamono. Play it back, it comes away to Stevens now. Sullivan doing the work from dummy half, and just his second game of top-level football tonight. Played in round 26 of the 2000 season for the Northern Eagles. Has now made his way to the Sharks and gets game number 2 this evening. Bickerstaff will play it. 25 out from the Eagles line. Kimmorley high in the air. It'll end up blowing backwards just about. Reeve stands there but won't get anywhere near it. It came off a Shark, came backwards, came away to Milford, who was wrapped up by Scott Donald. And the Eagles have done well to recover after a kick, but well, nobody really got near it in the end.
No, in these type of conditions, Warren, the kicking game will be vital of both teams. Up in the air, kicks along the ground. Extremely difficult night for the back three. Great tackle there by the Sharks.
Canning's being driven backwards, and a good tackle, as you say, by Stevens and also Nutley. Gallen was in there for a while as well. Hopewadi has come all the way from the right wing, 10 metres in from the left-hand touchline to take a gain of about 5 or so metres. Now Hamono gets them going the right way, takes them over the 20 and had that right arm cocked, which slipped some lovely balls last week against the Panthers. Now the pass came to King, who certainly didn't want it. Walker was wrapping around the back and put a kick in, which was carried by the strong breeze. They're set up on its point, and Peachey will bring it over the 40-metre line for the Sharks and try and launch a counter-attack. They're away for a moment, and Reek has it inches inside that far touchline.
He's come across now. Doesn't matter 10. He's coming across. Yeah, that's all right. It makes his advantage, and he can come in.
Emilio jumped out of dummy half to try and find them inside the 10, and that's exactly what he did. Another penalty to the Sharks, and more pressure coming on this Sea Eagles line.
More pressure coming, Warren. I've got to say that the last set of 6 for the Sharks, when the Eagles had the football, the 10 was very skinny.
Here's Stevens from a flat start, taking it inside the Sea Eagles 10. He'll play it there. Slow play the ball in the end. Menzies got a hold of his foot. Stepping off that left foot was Greg Bird, this week playing as the lock forward. They'll play it back to Sullivan. Now Kimmorley running quickly at them. They were waiting and sweating on Gallen. Oh, there to put a hit on him as well. What now combined with Aaron Cannings to stop him dead. Kimmorley goes past one. It comes further away to Jima Lane. Bailey stepping is too strong. It was simple stuff. A couple of passes off the ruck. And the second rower now comes centre, scores the first try of the game.
Yeah, not a great start by the Eagles. They started shockingly last weekend against the Panthers and again here tonight. And Kimmorley just a floating face ball. Jima Lane, a cross play. And Bailey just running the angle beautifully. It all came about on the back of a penalty. The Eagles not getting back. Emilio from dummy half. This is quite easy. This would be disturbing for Peter Sharp. The teams that have had success against the Sharks this year have really forced their hand by moving off their line extremely quick. And when you're defending on your line, you've got to get up and put the opposition under pressure. Bailey, he celebrates the try. You just can't afford to let Kimmorley dictate to you. You must be putting him under pressure. You must be putting his runners under pressure. You can come up with interception. You can come up with forced errors.
Try number 4 in the season for Phil Bailey. And it's not a great night for kickers, especially at this end of the field. Kimmorley 10 metres in. The wind is so strong he'll do well just to get the distance from this position. He hits it, but it swings to the left-hand side. Distance in the end probably wasn't a worry for him. But it will be the Sharks who'll play from in front tonight. They lead the Sea Eagles 4 points to 0. And there is so much wind. In fact, the crossbar is shaking here at the southern end of Toyota Park. That's how strong the breeze is. You don't often see that. We'll see if that first try shakes the Eagles' confidence. It was, as you said, Laurie, just a fairly simple affair. Walker almost kicked it out on the full on the first kick-off, and this time takes no chances with it, drives it hard and low, and it was taken by Peachy. He gave it off to Nutley again, and they were up to hit him pretty quickly. Jason King and also Chad Randall. Gallen has put his hand up plenty of times already. Takes it just outside the Sharks' 20. Sullivan going from dummy half is met by Jason King and also Ferris. Kimmorley getting the dummy half now. Bickerstaff from a trademark flat start. Close to the advantage line when they take it, the Sharks. And Bickerstaff got going pretty quickly. A swinging out perhaps over the top there from Ferris as Stevens played it at the halfway line. They put it through their hands here. Mullane gives it off to Bailey. And Milford was waiting back on the inside, but Bailey couldn't get the arms free. They picked up some pretty good metres, the Sharks, despite not getting the kick away. They're very hesitant in the defensive line. Great one-on-one steal there by Kimmorley. They go left quickly. Gallen to Peachy, who saw the chance to chime in. He came further away to Andrew Emilio. He's only 25 out when he'll play it here. Chance for the Sharks again. A good run by Nutley. Stepped around some pretty soft defence. He's only 8 metres away when he plays it. Kimmorley with a second man ball. A chance was there for Donald to pick it up and go, but he didn't get a clean shot at it. A wasted chance.
Offside.
And now a penalty to the Sharks.
Offside.
Came off one Eagle, picked up by Donald. And the touch judge has given Paul Simpkins the nod that Donald was in front of the man who touched it. It wasn't an accidental offside, of course, because he played it by picking it up.
The line.
So the Sharks will get 6 more tackles here. They'll tap it quickly. Sullivan comes to Stevens. He's only 3 metres away when he plays it. Sullivan tries his luck from dummy half, and he went awfully close. Randall was there to stop him. Stevens now fires it to Kimmorley. They came up quickly on the outside and forced them back this way. Oh, knock on inside the 10.
That's better defence that time for the Eagles. They moved off their line. They were putting the Sharks under pressure. The Sharks at the moment just dominating that ruck area. Quick play the ball, suiting Kimmorley's style of attack.
Ball in, stay in, it's out.
Now Ferris from the back of the scrum gives it to Walker. As the Eagles work it away from their own end. You can see time in their own half. Manly, despite having this strong breeze at their backs, spent plenty of time in their own 50. Hopewadi from dummy half. Driven sideways and a strong tackle. 4 of them there. Greg Bird along with also Emilio was in there. Cannings, or rather Hamono, picked up And dumped on his back, and he lost the ball. Play on, says Simpkins. Stevens got it away. It's now with Paul Gallen. Terrific tackle has forced the ball loose. They've got another chance here. Gallen will play it at the 20. Emilio going from dummy half is only 10 metres away. Here's Kimmorley. Looking one way, coming back on the inside to Danny Nutley. 10 minutes gone. It's the Sharks who lead the Sea Eagles. 4 points to nil. Kimmorley was given plenty earlier in the week after coughing up 2 intercept passes against the Dragons at Cogra last week. Well, he scores his own here to make it 8 points to nil. This terrific start by the Sharks continues.
And it all came about by a great tackle by Bickerstaff and Amono losing the football. He's got tremendous vision, Brett Kimmorley. We're talking about how they were coming up off their line, and Watmow and Randall, they were the tight defenders on the left edge. In tight, and they just moved across field, not moving directly up the park. And Kimmorley, with his pace, he was always going to get his body through the line. And with those two players not moving forward, it just made it so easy for Brett Kimmorley.
And the kick, apart from his first one, this one will be a much easier attempt. 11.5 minutes gone. And we've seen the Sharks, of course, make some hot starts here already this season. You only have to go back to round 1 against the Melbourne Storm when they led 22 points to nil, only to get run down. The kick hits the post and comes back into the field of play. A miss from close range. No shame in that tonight, though, with the wind the way it is. But they lead 8 points to nil.
Yeah, not a real good start, though, is it, for the Eagles? Big, strong wind at their back. They're turning the football over. They look shell-shocked. It happened last week against the Panthers.
Walker with the restart once again. Juggled by Peachy. He gives it back to Danny Nutley. A terrific tackle down low by Steve Menzies, whose defence has been first class in recent weeks. Here's Gallen. Pretty much a carbon copy of the build of Danny Nutley, and Dean Bosnich also on the bench tonight. He's right out of the same mould. Stevens standing there, asking the referee, am I all right to go? And he said yes. He's almost back to the halfway line. They continue to make metres here, the Sharks. Now Bickerstaff, those socks around the ankles as ever, will play it just outside their 40. Kimmorley will put the kick in over the head of Brendan Reeves. He's got a good bounce as well. Will bring it back. He'll be hemmed in inside his own 10 metres. A lovely tackle made by Andrew Emilio. Picks him off. Popawati from dummy half. Once again, they find themselves inside their own 20. Doing the tough stuff. This huge breeze at their backs. Amono again picked up and dumped backwards. For a player who wasn't noted for his ball playing, suddenly he seems intent to try and offload at every tackle. It might be best advised for the moment to put the ball under his arm and just put the head down and charge into them. King will play it. 5 tackles gone, and Walker again. Well, this time give it on to Ferris as they put it through the hands. Watmow might get hemmed in. Now he gets the hick away, and in the end it wasn't such a bad one, and the bounce is a pretty good one for him as well. They got lucky there. Peachy plays it. Might have bounced over the dead ball line, but he wasn't going to take a chance.
No, it wasn't a bad play there by the Eagles. They elected to run it on the 5th tackle, but I've got to question them whether they're going to the 5th tackle is the right option. I think with a strong breeze at your back, you've got to get it down there, especially the way their ball control is early in this game.
Here's Nutley. Cuffed, and we'll get a penalty as well.
Yeah, got him here. Contact with the head.
Anthony Watmow, the player, he wasn't too happy about it, but certainly got Nutley around the face with the hand or forearm. And once again, the penalty helps the Sharks work it away from their own end. Just slipped up there off the shoulder, perhaps. There was no doubt about the contact. And here's some contact as Stevens bumps it forward. It's met there by Randall and also Watmow. Flat pass for Nutley to take it across the halfway line.
Hands off.
Gibson, dummy half, gives it to Bailey, one of 2 try scorers for the Sharks. They're only 40 away. He lost it. Another penalty.
Hand in. No. Hands are in.
Ben McDougall is the player penalised. Stripped the ball out of the hands of Bailey. 2 back-to-back penalties here, and the Sharks will be just 20 metres away.
Well, it's just undisciplined play by the Eagles. They're frustrated, they're giving away penalties, they're running with the breeze. You'd swear that the Sharks had the breeze behind their back, the way they're getting some easy metres.
Gibson from dummy half comes to Kimmorley, who cuts out one. A good ball to Gallen with a big fend on Ben Walker, and then flops it back between the legs of Kimmorley. A clean bowled him. It comes to Bickerstaff. Kimmorley again passed it without looking, and luckily it went to Bailey. He puts a step on. It comes back to Mullane, and finally they wrap him up 9 metres away. Gibson comes to Peachy. They've got them shot again here. The Sharks are in for number 3. Well done. They're winning to play the balls. The dummy halves are getting it too quickly for the Seagulls defence to recover. And this time from close range once again, it's Peachy who scores. Penalties and giving them away are killing the Seagulls at the moment.
Yep, drop ball, undisciplined play by the Eagles. It's a little harsh though, I suppose, that one. But he did have his hands in there, so the referee was always going to deem it a strip. Phil Bailey's been pretty impressive with his speed and ability to use the football. This is great vision by David Peachy. Look at him go the short side. He realised that he's up against the front rower. Aaron Kennings, he's always going to beat him for speed on the outside. And if the winger comes in, he's got the ability to pass it. So the winger stays on his man, bang, same situation. They're sliding on their line, the Eagles. They must come forward and put the Sharks under a lot of pressure. A quick man on a slow man when they're sliding is always, the body is going to go through. Even though it's a low tackle, your momentum will carry it, especially if the line is just close by. Just been a terrific start by the Sharks. They've met business here tonight. They realise that this is a game, a must-win game for themselves.
Here's Kimmorley from wide out again. The kick and the wind. Well, it was only just to the left-hand side this time. A pretty good strike, that one, into this strong breeze. But 3 attempts, 3 misses for him after hitting the post with his previous attempt. But they lead the Seagulls 12 points to 0. Tony Jensen gets the call up to come into the fray from Peter Sharp, and likewise for Mark Shipway. As Aaron Cannings, who didn't have a happy start to the game. Oh, what a take from David Peachy. On the bounce and off his bootlaces. Fired a pass to Andrew Emilio, and luckily for him, it bounces up to him. A real chance taken by the fullback off the kickoff, but he showed a lovely pair of hands to come up with the take. Here's Gallen. Taking plenty of touches, plenty of hit-ups already in this game. 7 in total now. They're almost back to the 40-metre line. That's where Nutley will play it to Gibson. Stevens, likewise, has had a busy start to this game. Bird running at them off that left foot. Came to Walker, still going there. Dragged Randall with him a long way as well. He played just outside the Eagles' 40. Kimmorley this time just chipping in over the top. He wanted to bounce, but it kicked on towards Brendan Reeves. Again, the Eagles will have it at their own 20 as Torrance works it away from dummy half. If they decide to go early in the tackle count this time, Laurie, for a kick, will they work it down to the last tackle again? They might now decide that 12 points to 0 down, they need to score some points, and they might try and attack. They'll get a penalty here.
Roll him over, working him on the ground.
That will relieve a little bit of pressure from the Eagles. They should be able to get this in good field position and get their best chance of the match so far. But basically, they've just got to show a little bit of composure and a little bit of respect for the football.
Well, they will tap it here from just outside the Sharks' 40. They really haven't had an attacking chance to speak of so far in this game. Jason King will bump it down. He'll play it 35 away. Here's Walker getting the first receiver. He gives it to Hermono, who put a bit of a step on Gibson. He's got a hand on him. Got some help there from Bickerstaff. Walker again. Ferris playing outside him. Turns it back on the inside for Jensen. They're inside the Sharks' 20, midway through this set of 6. Walker again, first receiver. Grubbering, getting there. Peachy couldn't come up with it. It came backwards, away to Kimmorley, and they'll work it away through the halfback. A kick or a grubber early in the tackle count. Perhaps not the tactics from Ben Walker, but he tried it on anyway. Gallen will play it. Comes away through Emilio.
Jason.
Greg Bird. They're known as a 5/8 for the Sharks. Tonight playing in the lock forward position. With new faces again in this team for the Sharks tonight. Plenty of youngsters in 2003 with experienced players like Miller and McKenna moving on. Here's Nutley. He's tackled at the halfway line. They've done well to get it back to this point. Looking it away inside the breeze. Safety first football. It's a kick from Kimmorley will float down over the head of Donald. He's got Reeves back there with him. There's plenty of enthusiasm in this Sharks chase team tonight. They're up there right across the paddock again. Gibson got to him. He'll tackle Donald at his own 10. Reeves,
well, they're doing
dummy half.
Sorry, Warren, they're doing everything well tonight, aren't they, the Sharks? And they've been allowed to do it. They're just showing no respect for the football, the Eagles and the Sharks. Their marker play's been great. Their kick chase, they're covering up on the inside for one another. And they're really starting to respond to Kimmorley. He's just directing them round the park.
Randall. Walker kicking from inside his own 40. You would think it'll be a night for a real chance of a 40-20 from the Manly end or southern end of the field at the moment, but haven't gone close to putting one away. Walker had a couple of good kicks early in the game where he got the ball to sit down inside the Sharks in goal, but from that point on, it really has been all the Sharks playing at the other end of the field. Mullane will play it to Morley. Gives it to Stevens. Down in metres as far as his average per game goes in 2003. I think he's best to make amends for that tonight. So is Nutley. A good run here from Gibson once again, picking his moments from dummy half. Bailey went past everybody. Good bounce for Peachy. Fires a ball over the top. It went like a corkscrew. Backwards, blown by that breeze. Here's Emilio now, picking it up. He pops a lovely ball for Kimmorley. Walker points to him and says, you take him. Now Peachy, a ball out the back. Play on. No, it's knocked on.
You knock it forward into Manly, drive forward. Forward into Manly and back.
Some razzle-dazzle play from the Sharks. And only a ball put down which hit one of the Eagles players. Stopped the run continuing and maybe resulting in a try.
It's been their best play all night, hasn't it, the Sharks? The run, the person hitting the hole and the close support. And we saw what David Peachy done with that long ball. It's very hard to control a long ball in these conditions. So you're better off to tempt Kimmorley to throw the long pass. Jam in on himself and the runners and force the play on him.
Hang on, mate. No time on. Hold it still,
Pat
hold it
Gibson,
still.
the hook up with the cut to the right eyebrow. Forced out of the scrum for the moment while they clean that up. Play will continue though. And it's Albert Torrens who has it for the Manly Seagulls. They trail by 12. We're past the halfway mark in this first half and they have a very strong breeze at their backs. Here's McDougall now. Stay in the field of play. Get it back to Donald. Reeves comes to Shipway. Stevens is up very quickly looking to put a hit on him. Now Williamson also out there as Peter Sharp goes to his bench once again. A couple of passes together. A few sets of 6 here. Here's Ferris giving one to Himono. It was hit from behind and a good tackle by Gibson and also Nutley. Hopewadi showing it from dummy half. Gave it to Walker, but there was nothing happening for him. He came back to the right-hand side. Fended off Bird and puts another kick in here with the 4 tackles. He has this propensity at times, Ben Walker, to sometimes just throw the game plan out the window and play off the top of the head a little bit. And I think we've seen a couple of examples of that tonight.
Yeah, I don't think the players knew what was coming at that stage. Ben Walker just drifting across the field. He had Albert Torrens on the outside. Hopewadi had gone infield looking for the football. That's twice now he's had the ball in the last couple of minutes and he's turned it over quite cheaply.
One, stand up, hands off, Albert.
Coming into this game, the Sharks had the worst completion rate of any side in the NRL so far in this first half. They are 13 of 16. Possession number 17 at the moment. The Sea Eagles, who have this huge breeze at their backs, have only had 9 sets of 6 so far. Gibson comes off the field. And Michael Sullivan takes his place. As we said earlier in the game, just his second game in the NRL tonight. Oh, a ball put down here by Gallen. Bounced away from him and comes to Menzies.
That was better defence by the Eagles that time. Torrens got off his line. He put himself under, put Gallen under a lot of pressure. And he forced the issue and got a turnover. They've just had the majority of possession so far, the Sharks.
Torrens will play it. Walker, again, playing as a halfback primarily tonight, if you like, at the first receiver role. Here's Ferris now to the left-hand side, playing in that role. A pass over the top for Donald. Grubbering now. Reeves is there. He'll score for Manly. Terrific try. And what a pass to put Donald away down the left-hand side with this Breeze at their backs. Breeze comes up with 4 points and they're on the board.
Well, it was a good pass by Jason Ferris. In these conditions, a long ball has to be on the money. And that time it was. And Scotty Donald just kicking inside for Brendan Reeves. When we looked at it, I thought he was okay. I thought he was onside. I thought the referee, though, might have went up and got the video ref to have a look at it. It would have been quite difficult, but a good hit back by the Eagles. They had to be next to score.
If you're playing the ball, just leave the markers alone. That's what you're doing.
Reeves knew that was important for his side, and Des Hasler, the trainer, who was ordered from the field last week when they took on the Panthers. Sean Hampstead stopped the game and said to the trainer, who spends a lot of time on the field, get off, but Reeves picks up the second try of this 2003 season. And Ben Walker has this one lined up about 10 metres to the left-hand side of the post. Not a difficult attempt with the Breeze at his back. And despite having scored 3 tries, the Sharks might find themselves leading here only by 6. That would be an imbalance on the scoreboard. The Sharks really have dominated this game from the opening whistle. Walker with the kick. The help of the Breeze hits the post. As we said, it's not an easy night for kickers. That one was very makeable for Ben Walker. It stays at 12 points to 4 as we approach the half an hour mark here at Toyota Park.
It'll be interesting to see what they do in this set of 6, the Eagles. Whether they just take 2 or 3 good go-forward runs, then try and get the 40-20. They've been waiting till late in the tackle count before using it.
But it is with the restart. You can see the effects of that Breeze as Shipway takes it on the full. They'll bring it back outside the 20. They're on the board, trailed by 8 though. Shipway fell to the ground after playing the ball as Hopewadi yet again takes another hit up from dummy half and picked up the best part of 20 metres also. Williamson now giving on to Hamono. You're waiting for him in numbers. Bickerstaff was there. Stevens came into the frame as well at the death. Another change for the Sharks as well. Gallen coming off and Dean Bosnich coming on. Ferris, a ball back on the inside for Tony Jensen. Play it. Comes to Randall. That's Walker who put it high in the air. It was off the side of the boot, but it won't matter in the end because the Breeze will blow it a long way downfield. Peachy will take it at his own 10. And him in there. They haven't done too badly off the restart, the Seagulls, but they need to force a couple of mistakes at this end of the field to really apply some pressure to this Sharks line.
Yeah, they certainly do, Warren. They'd love to get another try before half-time because the Eagles could turn it around. They showed last weekend when they had the majority possession go against them in the first half, but then they got on a little bit of a roll in the second half. It's going to be quite difficult running into a stiff Breeze. They have shown they can score plenty of points in a short period of time. Wonderful tackle there, Hamono not taking any dummies on Brett Kimmorley.
Sullivan kicking from dummy half. Be taken by a former teammate of the Eagles in Brendan Reeves. And once again, looks up. And unlike previous weeks, this Sharks kick chase is right down there. The entire team pretty much spread across the field apart from David Peachy. Hopewadi picked off, and Torrens will take it from dummy half. Try and gallop out of one tackle. He's 9 away from the halfway line. Here's Cannings, who had a short stint on the sideline. Perhaps a bit of a rev up as well from Peter Sharp. Almost busted the line on that occasion. Jensen. Another solid hit. That Bickerstaff has supplied plenty of them so far. Here's a kick off the outside of the boot. Walker coming through. Might have had to play it. In the end, he was just coasting. Peachy got to it before him, and what a pass from Peachy Back to Matthew Reek. Hare's still going. There might be trouble here for the Eagles. He gives it away to Emilio. He's dancing himself, standing there and finally taken the ground by Chad Randall.
Oh, great play there by David Peachy. Tremendous pass. His confidence is sky high at the moment. A great kick return by the Sharks. And when they're at their best, you can expect plenty of that.
On in jumper 20 for the Sharks is Nathan Vagg, a 20-year-old originally from South Australia. In the Sharks for a few seasons now, has been playing his football at St Gregory's as a schoolboy before that. Now Kimmorley, tackled just outside the 10 of the Sea Eagles on the last tackle. They come right. Sullivan gives it to Bailey in a similar position to the one he scored his first try from.
Change over.
Might have passed after he was tackled, in fact, in the end, but it didn't matter because Milford put the ball down. They've shown they can make plenty of metres quite easily against this Eagles defence.
Well, they have, Warren. Interested to see how the Eagles play this set of 6. We mentioned how they should kick early. Last set of 6, David Peachy was playing 10 metres behind the defensive line, and you can catch him out, and he's not a danger to you if the ball rolls over his head and starts rolling down the field. But he is a danger when he drops back and he catches it on the full, and he can link to his wingers.
Williamson playing at the 30, a chance to kick perhaps, and they will take it. Peachy was up, floating in behind the line. The bounce wasn't a kind one for Jason Ferris, and it will easily clear the dead ball line. And the Sharks will work it away from their own 20. They don't mind doing that because they've shown they can work it away through the forwards and be able to put a fair dent in this Eagles defensive line from their own end of the field.
But they need to do it earlier when they're not as far down the paddock. So therefore, if it does roll, it will roll in the end goal or close to it. When you're kicking from the 40 or around halfway in these conditions, the kicking's got to be spot on.
Hands clear.
Here's Sullivan. 10 metres on his own side of halfway. He'll play it to Peachy.
Oh, put him up. Come on, Ben.
Kimmorley now, going quickly to the line. Sit back on the inside for the youngster Nathan Vagg. He'll play it back to Sullivan. Kimmorley will put it high in the air again. It's not an easy one for Reeves, who won't get, in fact, anywhere near it once more. Sullivan took it, put a kick in, and in the end it bounces up there to Scott Donald, who runs a long way back. In fact, he goes past all of them, and only David Peachy stopped him. Terrific return by the left winger. He plays it to the right winger, Hopewadi, who comes across the field. Walker running sideways is wrapped up by the Sharks. He'll play it quickly. Hopewadi kept following him across the field. Tries to hold off Kimmorley, who drags him backwards. Then the big boppers get involved. Bosnich and Bickerstaff. Here's Cannings now. Just outside his own 40 when he plays it. Walker will give it to Jason King. A chance on the right-hand side for him. Emilio wraps him up. Menzies from dummy half to Walker. Kicking, played at by the Sharks. They came up with it. Nutley might have knocked it on.
Went down off the arm, straight down. It's knock on.
That's exactly what Paul Simpkins rules. It was there for Manly to pick it up and keep going. Nutley got to it but knocked it on, so they will get 6 more at any rate.
Well, they got a bit of luck there.
Stand up.
The Eagles. If Ben Walker had been able to deliver that pass a little bit earlier,
Come together.
it would have been a problem for the Sharks down that right edge.
Here's Reeves. Net.
Stand up.
Good solid tackle downstairs. Jai Mullane got to him with the help of Bailey. Jensen putting it back on the inside for McDougall. 6 minutes left on the clock. A chance for the Seagulls here to close this gap. Cannings put a ball on for Jason King, who put it down. Poor handling again, costing the Eagles in a good position. And now it's Greg Bird who works it up towards the halfway line for the home team. I would love to get to the break, leading by at least this 8-point margin with a huge breeze at their backs. You would think that Kimmorley would kick the bladder out of it in the second half and camp them inside their own 20, Manly, and the entire 40 minutes just about, you would imagine. Things can happen though as Vagg will play it. Just outside the 30 here, Sullivan gives it to Kimmorley, who is looking to Switch it back across the ruck, put a kick in for Peachy, who is chasing through. Reeves will have to play at it. He got there in time, but so did Matt Helder to wrap him up and take him across the dead ball line in the one motion.
It's a big good opportunity for the Eagles to get back quickly while the Sharks aren't set and use the football to their advantage and kick it deep downfield.
Word from the toucher. When he's playing the ball, he's jagging the markers. Okay. If we see it, if we see it, we pick it up. You lose the ball. All right, it's a penalty.
Just a warning on the run for John Hopewadi to leave the marker alone. You'd have thought after what happened last week when he perhaps cost his team the victory. The try was disallowed to Anthony Watt now when Hopewadi got involved with the marker. I thought he might have learned his lesson. We'll see what happens. Milford will play it for the Sharks. Tag. Just outside the 20. Sullivan comes back to the short side. John Malone on to Phil Bailey, who's a real handful for McDougall. He'll get some help here from Jensen. He certainly needs it. He's still going, Bailey. Popped the pass away, but Ferris was there to take it for the Sea Eagles. Now Cannings has lost it, but there'll be no advantage here.
Drag it forward, knock on. No, you drag it forward.
He loves going for the one-on-one rate, Brett Kimmorley, and he's extremely good at it. First it was the pass, Ferris intercepted, and then Kimmorley trying to go the one-on-one, pulling it backwards. Their ball control when you run with it under one arm. Kimmorley's always looking for that opportunity to steal the ball.
Seagulls win the scrum. It's a close run thing. Kimmorley certainly thought it went backwards, but Paul Simpkins was right on the spot and said no, it went straight to the ground to force a knock on before that, Brett. Jason King runs at Greg Bird. King pops the ball out the back. Walker gives it to Williamson. So Michael Sullivan, who lined up to try and put a real big hit on Luke Williamson. Now Hopewadi throwing an intercept ball. Knocked down by Joe Mullane.
Knock on.
Danny Nutley doesn't like the call this time, but that was a close run thing again.
Hopewadi trying to go to the line and put one of his runners through. Correct call there by the referee. He did knock it forward.
Ball in. Out.
Ferris comes to Hopewadi once more.
Hands off.
They play it. Back to the halfback again. Torrens is out there on that right-hand side, posted on his lonesome. He's on his own side of halfway when he plays it. There's only 3 minutes left in this first half. Hopewadi yet again takes it forward. Carry number 13 for the big winger. Certainly getting through a load of work on both sides of the field at times. Now Ferris comes to Cannings. Very wide in the attacking back line. Easy mark in the end for Bailey, who had him for speed. McDougall goes from dummy half. Tries to put a bit of a step on. They'll play it here after 5 tackles. Randall come back to Ferris. He'll chip in over the top, looking for Aaron Cannings, who got to it. Peachy is there, but he won't be able to stop the front rower. How's that? An incredible piece of play. A front rower chasing through a chip kick. He got the bounce as well and powered through Peachy.
Great work there by the Eagles. 5th play option. Ferris, little kick over the top. As he did on the stroke of full time last weekend, on the stroke of half time tonight. This time he's scoring the try. Last week he set it up for Scott Donald. And just tremendous hands for a big man that's played a lot of time in this game to be able to pick up the football and then carry David Peachy across. It's a great effort.
Well, they narrow that margin to 4 points through the efforts of this man who picks up the first try of his career to boot. What a way to score it. Can't recall the last time I saw a front rower as the man who was the target when a half put in a chip kick in behind the line. And he took it with such aplomb as well. And it was certainly too much for David Peachy to try and stop him close to the line. An important try for the visitors as we approach half-time here. And Walker with a chance to put them within 2. Hit the post with his first one. This one is a much better kick though. And very quickly, the Sharks have had their lead whittled away. They led 12-0 at one stage. A lovely kick with the crossbar still wobbling between the uprights here with the breeze from the south, the Toyota Park. It's 12 points to 10. And it will be the Eagles who will have the last set of 6 in this first half.
It was a great kick there because the wind, as you mentioned, Warren, is extremely tough tonight for goal kickers. Just a lovely curl to the footy. Straight between the posts. And it's a 2-point ball game on the stroke of half-time.
Well, they will have the breeze in the second half, the Sharks, but the fact that they've been a couple of leads in recent times, get away from them, will be on their minds perhaps. Walker desperately get back to his feet. Ferris for the try scorer Aaron Cannings, who will play it just outside the 20 with only 5 seconds left. Perhaps this the last play of the first half. And the siren sounds to bring things to a conclusion, perhaps a couple of seconds early, but that will do them. And it's the Sharks who have a slender lead at the break. They lead the Sea Eagles 12 points to 10. As Aaron Cannings, what a try he scored off a chip kick to notch up try number 1 in his NRL career. Greg Bird driving it low and hard, as Ben Walker did after almost kicking one out over the dead ball line to start the game. And it's Cannings who will bring it back for the Eagles. They spent so much of the first half inside their own 50 metres, despite having that big breeze at their backs. We'll see if things turn around perhaps in this second half, and they can restrict the Sharks to small metres when they've got the ball. Randall from dummy half comes back to John Hopewadi. Kimmorley getting up on his face there. Some help as well from Dean Bosnich as he spun around again. Kimmorley was there to harass him once more. Menzies takes a rare hit up, one off the ruck, and he'll play it back to Randall here. Might have been working it for a penalty, shaking his head as he got back to his feet. Peachy lets it bounce, and it sits up for him nicely with the breeze holding it there. Menzies got to him, and he still threw the pass. Been lucky to get away with it in the end. Put himself under a fair bit of pressure. Andrew Emilio. A step away from Albert Torrens. Sullivan gives it off to Matt Hilda. Himself has played dummy half already this year for the Sharks in earlier games. Stevens, a good run, picked up plenty of metres in that first half. Good run to start off the second 40 minutes. Flat stuff again across the line by the Sharks. Kimmorley quickly got it on, and it's now Sullivan putting a kick in over the top. Wanted a bounce, but didn't get one. And it will go across the dead ball line. And the Eagles will bring it back to their own 20.
There was no urgency shown there by John Hopewadi. He was assuming that the ball was going to go dead, but if the ball had to bounce back, he would have been caught out big time. Brendan Rees showed urgency from the other side of the field, and I think that's a tactic that the Sharks might continue to use in the second half. Little short kicks in behind Hopewadi. He does a lot of work when he's got the football, but when he's defending, a lot of that energy's been taken out, and he can be caught with little kicks in behind.
Jensen will run down the blind side, but they were there waiting for him. Now Williamson takes it up towards the halfway line. Forced to do a lot of heavy working close to the ruck tonight. The man who spends his time now in the second row is Hopewadi. 45 out from the Sharks line when he plays it. On the last tackle, Walker kicking in behind Peachy and coming quickly. A chance here to trap him in the in-goal area. Peachy picks it up though and dances his way back to the field of play. Good work by the fullback. Walker sensed there was a real chance to come up with something there and force a goal line dropout, but Peachy did well. And now Milford has been injured in the tackle here. Writhing in pain on the ground. Perhaps he got an accidental knee in the back as one of the tacklers came in over the top as he hit the deck. That's exactly what might have happened there. Jason King had hold of him with perhaps the left knee, which might have just collected him accidentally. Ben Walker was the player who had stopped his progress, and then when King came in, Milford was left in this situation.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Tremendous work by Ben Walker. The kick in the field of play, and then rolling back into the in-goal. Peachy picking it up. Tremendous chase, and then from the second tackle, Walker, he squares himself up from Marker. He does a double. Jason King just coming over the top, accidental knees.
I know, it's still the rules, man. Sorry. Right, just hold on to it. Mark up square, don't split early. One tackle 2.
And Milford, for a moment there, was being walked back out towards the right wing.
3. Stand up.
Had to come back and play the ball, and now it's Stevens. Here's Sullivan, taking it away from dummy half. He started his career with the Northern Eagles as a halfback.
Last tackle.
But like so many before him, finds himself in the dummy half role. Now with the Sharks, of course. Kimmorley kicking from just outside the 20. Makes his intentions clear. And Topawati, who picks it up and waited a long time to pick it up as well. Gives it off to Reeves. But again, 9 or 10 of them across the park there. Possession. Edging the way of the Sharks over the first 40 minutes. The Eagles, though, camped in their own half, especially in the first 20 to 25 minutes of the first 40 minutes. Here's Cannings. Stopped at the Sea Eagles 40. Big bird there with Andrew Emilio in just his second game. Now Torrens. Taking it away from the wing. We'll play it there at the halfway line. Good completion rates from both sides. Here's Jason King.
Take it back.
And it's Walker with the kick off the outside of the right boot, flirting with the touchline, but it was a fairly well judged kick into the breeze as well. That wouldn't be easy to do tonight, into this very strong southerly, and they'll make the Sharks work it away from inside their own 20 from the scrum.
Yeah, it's been a better start to this game for the second half to this game for the Northern Eagles. They're making good go forward. Walker's being able to kick the ball on around the 50-metre line. It's making it easier to get a little bit of pressure put back on the Sharks. See how the Sharks react to this, whether they kick early in the tackle count or try and just get to the tackles, get as much position as they possibly can, and then I'll let it go for Kimmorley to kick the footy.
Nutley.
3, clear.
Going quickly, close to the ground he's built. He certainly runs with plenty of vigour. Here's Kimmorley, a kick, touched by the Sea Eagles, a chance for the Sharks to get there, but Brendan Reeves beats them to it. Sullivan and also Peachy were chasing through. A reasonable chance of getting there, but Reeves did very well in the end.
That's a courageous bit of play by fullback Brendan Reeves. That is showing plenty of courage. It's a charge down. The Sharks are on side. They're all coming through at 100 mile an hour, and the ball was spinning around. He had to dive on it. He had to put his body on the line. He did exactly that.
I'll play it in Sharks territory here. Jason King running across the paddock. Stopped by a couple of the smaller men in Bird and also Kimmorley. They've used up 5 tackles. Randall spins it quickly to Walker, who again, with Peachy playing fairly shallow, just chips it over his head. And we'll sit down here for Milford. We're hoping to bring it back with a little bit more success this time. They'll play it there inside the Sharks 10. Reed. We didn't see too much of the ball in that first half, apart from the long run he made off the Peachy pass on top of their own goal line. Bosnich play it back to Sullivan. Nutley almost overran it. And now Stevens takes his turn. Standing in the tackle for an age there again. Cannings. Some help from Menzies to stop him. Here's Kimmorley. One off the ruck to the right-hand side. This time took the elevation a little bit higher, and there was no chance of it being charged down. Torrens it is for the moment, playing back there with Hopewadi up in the line. Torrens is on the right wing.
And that's a fairly good move, because Hopewadi does a lot of work with the football and he becomes very tight. So they're sacrificing Hopewadi as the man to get the yards, and then when they're defending, Torrens goes back on tackle 4 or 5 to have plenty of juice left in the tank for the kick return.
Hopewadi takes it to hit up number 18 so far in the game. We're just 7 minutes into the second half. No change to the halftime scoreline as Randall spins the pass quickly. Bailey came up. Ferris tried to weave in some traffic. Gets it out the back. Walker then puts a kick in. It wasn't a good one. And now Donald has a play at it. Peachy hung off it. Gave Donald the chance to pick up an extra 10 or so metres there. But again, Walker comes up with a kick which didn't seem to have a lot of thought in it.
No, there also wasn't a lot of urgency shown by David Peachy also. It ended up being a correct, well, I don't know if you could say the correct play, but it turned out lucky for the Sharks. He just let it go, David Peachy. That could have turned into anything. I know he's worried about going over the sideline, but sometimes you've just got to put your body on the line, take the ball over and take the chance at another set of 6.
Danny Nutley slow to get back to his feet here. Cost the Sharks some real momentum. Here's a chance for them. Hopewadi slow to get back there. He's used up plenty of gas, as he's been saying, with the ball in his hands, and he was just a passenger there as the kick went in behind him. Luckily for big Hopewadi, Reeves got there to knock it dead.
He's just slow to turn and chase John Hopewadi. He does a tremendous amount of work for his team. His hit-ups already are close to 20. It just takes up so much energy. And when you've got the football and on 5th tackle, it is a good play to kick behind him because he's slow to chase.
Sure, it won't be the last time they'll kick to the left-hand side as the Sharks look at it, running with this southerly at their backs. Walker, a high goal line dropout. Taken there by Sullivan. He gives it to Nutley, who's stopped by, in turn, Williamson. Stevens to Peachy. Looking for one more off his hit, but they weren't there. Walker might have a bit of a word to say to him as well now. Kimmorley. Back on the inside for Bosnich, who's stopped by Ben Walker. Kimmorley, close at hand again at first receiver. Menzies wasn't going to let him run past him. Sullivan ended up with it. Got 2 tackles left. They're only 10 metres out from the Eagles line. Stevens, second man play for Peachy. Flat pass, came away to Jai Malone, who got up to go again and got there to score, did he? Simpkins wants a look.
Have a look at that. Have a look and see where the ball's ground. Thanks,
The delayed pass coming to Jai Malone. There were players coming at different angles there. Peachy was caught, still got the ball away. Ferris made the tackle, not stopped was the call, obviously, and then the ball, I don't know that ever got to the ground. This angle here will show it a little bit more clearly. No touch on the ground there. Suspended behind the calf muscle there of Brendan Reeves. Well, it certainly got close to the ground perhaps on that angle there. This one might be the best one of all.
I think this one will tell us Reeves does a great job to get his foot involved and coming from underneath. Well, I suppose on what I saw there, look, I can't see him touching the ground, but the benefit of the doubt, I suppose, will go with the attacking team.
Well, that's exactly what the benefit of the doubt is for. And as you say, with the view obscured by the leg of the referee, Paul Simpkins, blocking the shot, you can't conclusively say from that angle that the ball hit the ground, but it should be, well, benefited of the doubt to the Sharks, and you would think we'll see the try decision come from the video referee, Graham West. It is 4 points for the Sharks. The try for Jai Malone, and they lead the Seagulls 16 points to 10. Took them 10 minutes to score in the second half, but eventually they got there.
Yeah, one of the Sharks' favourite plays with Peachy just drifting across the field, the opposite side of the ruck to Brett Kimmorley. Looked as though the pass could have been forward, but I know that would be exaggerated when Peachy just floats off on his pass. But just Malone hitting a hole through the tackle of Ferris. Great ability to just find the line. Video ref decides that that's a 4-pointer. Good start to the Sharks in the second 40.
They'll have this big breeze at their backs. Kimmorley has that as well. He adds the extra 2 to make it an 8-point ball game. You would think it won't take them too many tackles from the kickoff here. They won't muck around, you would reckon. Give an early kick in, put the Eagles back inside their own 20 again.
And I wonder, with all the controversies of the video referee decisions so far this year, I wonder whether they will think that rule of benefit of the doubt. Sometimes I think the benefit of the doubt should go the other way to the defending team. I think if you're not sure, award no try.
There are degrees of benefit of the doubt, of course. We've seen that over a number of decisions since The video referee came into being. Kimmorley now will kick early in the tackle count. And plenty of chases as well. Reek getting through has tons of speed at his disposal, but the ball sat down for Reeves to get there. But here he is now playing it back to Hopewadi, just 15 metres out from his own line, and I'm sure that's a tactic we'll see repeated ad nauseum by the Sharks.
Well, this is the time that the Eagles have to go with the Sharks. The Sharks realise that 28 minutes to go. Let's pick the tempo up. We've got the wind behind us. Let's see if we can go for the kill here right at this point. Get back-to-back tries. So the Eagles, they must go with them at this period of the game. Otherwise, the scoreline for the Sharks, they get their confidence up, could blow out.
Randall comes to Jason King, who works it down the short side. They'll play it here on the last tackle. Randall from dummy half took a real chance by not getting a kick away, and now it's Torrens. They'll loop a left-footed kick over the head of Peachy, who continues to play quite shallow to the defensive line with this breeze at his back, and it's Milford who will bring it back for the Sharks.
And you've got to be very aware when you're marking up on Chad Randall. If there is a metre down a short side and he believes there's something happening, there's an opportunity there for his teammate, he will take it. Fifth tackle, probably not the correct way to go down the short side. But fortunately for the Eagles, they got away with it. Torrens got the kick, lovely left foot kick.
Here's Nutley. We'll play it 5 metres into Eagles territory. Sullivan going quickly from dummy half. His opposite number, Randall got to him. He gets up to go again before Williamson stops him. 25 metres away now. Here's Peachy rubbering. It got past Reeves. Kimmorley is chasing. Reeves picked it up to take it across the dead ball line. They knew there was a real chance, and they've hemmed them in behind their own try line once again here. They'll get 6 more tackles, the Sharks. They'll apply the blowtorch once again to the visitors.
Yeah, great work there by Brett Kimmorley for the chase. Also good work there by David Peachy. Just a well-weighted kick, starting to get into the game now, Peachy.
Here he is, taking the goal line drop out from Ben Walker, just 20 metres out of the Seagulls line. Stevens trying to get a pass away. Play on, went backwards. Kimmorley changing angle, steps off the left foot. For the tackle there of Amono before he was wrapped up by Jason King. Tackle number 1, they're just 10 away. Here's Peachy getting into first receiver now. Stopped by Menzies and also Ferris. Sullivan fires a pass away to Bird, who showed some lovely hands. Hopewadi comes in from his wing quite often in those situations to try and snuff it out. He got caught out on this occasion. Matthew Reek had a free passage to the line, and the Sharks lead the Seagulls 22 points to 10.
They're always short of numbers on that side. Torrens comes out of the line. He needed to make that tackle. And Hopewadi, well, he needed to go to somebody. Instead, he comes up into space. So that's where the tackle should have been completed. Torrens needed to make the tackle. And you saw where Hopewadi was. Caught in field, over the top. Lovely pass in these conditions to Reek in the corner. And the Sharks, are they about to get their first victory of the year?
Well, they've had to suffer through 6 losses, and these Cronulla fans will see the streak ended right here tonight, and they are certainly on their way. They lead by 12 now. Kick to come. And now we keep talking about it. If they lost from this situation, with the strength of the wind they have at their backs in the second half here, Chris Anderson might jump in his car and not come back. Kimmorley, a difficult one from wide out, hoping the breeze will blow it back. Didn't have the length on the kick anyway. They do lead by 2 converted tries. It's just on 25 left. It's 22 points to 10. So the effort in defence really working against the Eagles in the last couple of sets of 6. Kimmorley has come out and done exactly what the coach would have wanted of him in the first 15 or so minutes. Kick early in the tackle count. Let them work it away from their own end, which is exactly what the Eagles didn't do in the first 20 minutes when they were playing with this breeze at their backs. Malay, play it for the Sharks. Pick a start. Goes away from dummy half, runs into King and also Williamson. Sullivan in his hands. Wanted to fast play the ball. Stevens was set upon straight away by Solomon Hamono. Now Milford and dummy half. Trying to find a gap and almost got through it as well. An ankle tap stopped him at the halfway line. Some good dummy half running. Speed of the play the balls. Working to the advantage of the Sharks here. Nutley to Kimmorley. Puts it high in the air. Reeves coming across. Hopewadi running the block for him, but they'll stop Reeves in his own in goal.
Go to 20, put on the line.
But despite having the ball in his upper half of his body in the in-goal area, Brendan Reeves had his legs in the field of play. And because of that, Paul Simpkins said you can bring it back out to your own 20. And to have ruled that to be the case. Brendan Reeves was inside his own in goal when he took the ball on the 4. I certainly didn't think that was the case. Here's the Eagles though. Donald knocking it on. Bailey diving it on for the Sharks.
Well, it was building down the left-hand side for the Eagles. Mono just chucking the ball out the back. They looked to spread straight away. And Donald dropping the football. Phil Bailey, plenty of speed for a back row playing out in the centres tonight. Come across in cover. And the lower Milford in the back play has gone down a number of times tonight. Looks as though he might have cramp.
Here's Kimmorley looking around the back of the ball from Greg Bird. Emilio is away looking for some support. Reeves got to him and made a try-saving tackle. Now Torrance puts it down, but
Knock on.
the Eagles will get the scrum,
no
Pete.
Advantage gain. No advantage gain.
He was just about away. If he'd had somebody backing up down the middle of the park, there was another try under the post for the Sharks. That was a close run thing for the Eagles. That one might have been just about enough.
He looks an exciting prospect, Emilio. Very light step up. Extremely quick. He's found himself in space a couple of times tonight.
Hands on the other side. Bring it back. Far side, pop stand. Hold in. Ball. Out.
Luke Dawn is out there for the Sea Eagles. A change made by Peter Sharp. Here's his reserve half off the bench to make a change. Here's McDougall giving it away to Scott Donald, who's in danger of being dragged across the touchline. But they'll be penalised. Danny Nutley got up high-fiving and bear-hugging Phil Bailey. He thought they'd won the lottery. Couldn't believe his luck when he looked up and saw the penalty.
Well, I couldn't believe Paul Simpkins didn't penalise him. The way he carried on after the tackle, he really ripped into him. Have to be careful there with their discipline, the Sharks. So in the past, people getting sin binned and getting marched another 10 metres.
King playing it 40 out from the Sharks line as they change direction here. Walker went back to Luke Dawn. He ran around Jima Lane, got a ball away to McDougall. He gives one to Scott Donald. He fires the ball back on the inside. What now is there? And it came off the Sea Eagle across the line. The Sharks will get it back now. There's a promising movement down the left-hand side, which almost worked for them.
Yeah, well, he's been good tonight, Phil Bailey. But the Eagles probably believe that Ben McDougall has got him for pace. So every opportunity they're looking now to go that way. The Eagles claiming that it come off the Sharks, but no doubt in the world that what now takes that.
Ball in. It's out.
Kimmorley on the base of the scrum gives it to Andrew
Clear
Emilio.
one. Clear.
And they'll work it away from their own end of the field here. The ball out the back, and a real chance taken by Paul Gallen, but now here's Peachy, a good man to have the ball in his hands.
Run him up. Run him up.
Picked up around about 20 metres. Stepping, weaving run. Bickerstaff.
Back to the line.
Having a tackle by Ferris. Kimmorley gives it on to Stevens as they keep this roll going. Here's King trying to get the big man to ground, but they can't. The best part of 20 metres himself here. This is tackle number 5 now. Kimmorley. Give it off to Gallen. I'll hold him up. He stands there in the tackle though, still thinking about an offload. Finally, King flops in over the top to stop him. This is the last. Gibson gives it to Kimmorley. Ferris got to him. Kimmorley got a hurried kick away. Might be a bad one though. Reeves looked for one more and got it. He was praying that it took one more bounce across the dead ball line, and luckily for him, it did. Kimmorley, terrific presence of mind to be able to throw the ball loose and kick it in the one motion, and almost came up with 6 more tackles for them.
Well, he's such a strong player, Kimmorley. He puts his body on the line and he gets involved. He not only likes to handle the football, but likes to put himself in the game defensively. He tries to inspire his teammates. He'll come rushing out of the line and try and put it on a big hit. Sometimes he bounces off, but he keeps coming. He's a little terrier.
Here's Ferris. Speaking of terriers, stopped at the halfway line. He's been perhaps their most creative player again tonight. Now Walker fires a ball back and it comes to Luke Dawn. He turns it back on the inside for Hamono. The Sharks just happy to hold their defensive line, not rush up and leave a hole in it. Ferris working from dummy half at the moment on a pass went to nobody. King has it on the last tackle. He throws a rainbow to Steve Menzies. He gets the ball away to Albert Torrens. The ball might have been forward from Menzies. It didn't matter in the end whether Torrens knocked it on or not.
Well, we mentioned it earlier in the call and early in the second half, Warren, how short David Peachey plays. And early in the tackle count, when the wingers are up, the Eagles should look to kick. Scott Donald's one of the quickest players on the field. I'm sure in a race he would beat most players. Get a deep kick under no pressure, just get it back. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of success there for the Eagles.
Vag plays it. Gibson now an important set of 6 for the Sea Eagles. They need to hold them out here. 18 minutes left. They fire a ball to Peachey, standing midfield at first receiver. He juggles it in the left hand. It comes back in the right hand now. He'll play it there on the last tackle. Here's Kimmorley looking for 6 more. A grubber again. Picked up by Walker on the fly, but he'll be stopped in the end goal. Well worked by the Sharks again. And they'll come at them with 6 more tackles.
Tremendous kicking game, Brett Kimmorley. He's got the ability to find space in a difficult situation. Lovely hands by Ben Walker. And then Kimmorley chasing through.
Goal line dropout. Took a bit of a bounce away from Matthew Reek, who had eyes as wide as dinner plates for a moment there as it bounced towards the sideline. Gibson gives it off to Nutley. They're just 18 metres away, and they'll play it here with 4 tackles left. Peachey very involved in their second half. A short ball for Greg Bird, who was hitting a high tackle by Albert Torrens. He really collared him as soon as he got to it.
Come out. Yeah, got him high, okay, no need to go on there. It's all right. See ya.
Kimmorley takes the quick tap, and here's Nathan Vag hitting it towards the line. A chance for 2 points, but they want 4 here to knock them out of the game perhaps. Here's Gallen stepping off the right foot. He'll take them across the line with him, but Williamson will hold him up. Good work by the replacement forward for the Sea Eagles. He got some help in the end from Brendan Reeves. That saved the try, but they've got 6 more tackles here.
Yeah, they're just hanging on at the moment, the Eagles. They've had all the field position, and they're starting to build pressure, get repeat set of 6.
Ben.
You expect in this set of 6, the Sharks to put another 4-pointer on the board.
Kimmorley with a complete 360 at the base of the scrum. Nowhere to go. Perhaps he dropped the compass for a moment there. He'll play it though, just 9 metres out. Bird. Just been hit around the neck by Albert Torrens, looking to offload. Still going, the youngster. He's only a couple of metres away. He'll play it back to Gibson. A ball back on the inside for Gallen. They won't stop him this time. They held him up on the previous occasion, and the Sharks are celebrating like they think that's enough to get their first win of the season.
Well, you would expect it to be enough, although we have seen the Sharks get run down, and I'll go back to that first game this year when they had a big lead against the Melbourne Storm. But you wouldn't think that the Eagles are playing exciting football with the ball in hand. Just a simple cross play. He's extremely happy with it, Gibson. Well, I suppose they're every right to be excited, the Sharks. Heading for their first win of the season. There was plenty of pressure on them coming here tonight. I'm sure there was plenty of pressure on their coach, Chris Anderson, and the players, as Kimmorley converts the try. Takes it out to an 18-point lead.
Just under 15 minutes left in this second half as well. So certainly the Eagles have it all before them now. Kimmorley doesn't waste the chance from close range to add the extra 2. And you would think we're down to the situation here where Walker needs to try something off the kickoff. Gone for the high, shortish one, but Peachy is there playing close to the line, waiting for it for that exact same kickoff. And came down with a pretty good take to feed it back. In the end, it was Vag who came up with it.
A pretty good take to feed it off. That was magic hands by David Peachy. His confidence is back.
Kimmorley. Ball out the back. They keep it alive. It comes to Matthew Reek. He certainly can go, and Alvin Torrens realised the urgency and got there in a hurry to stop him. Kimmorley goes wider still. Comes to Bickerstaff. He'll play it just inside the Seagulls 30. Picking early in the tackle count again here. He wants the ball to sit down. Donald is waiting, and it beat everybody across the dead ball line. Some real poise shown by the winger for the Manly side. Waited and waited and waited. Did exactly what he wanted, but only just. The lower Milford was coming. Wasn't that far away from it. What now it is for the Seagulls. They'll play it here at the 30. A trail by 3 converted tries. They used up plenty of petrol in defence in this second half. Hopewadi, one player who's shown the effects of the work they've had to do. Here's Walker firing a ball over the top. If the Sharks hadn't sealed it, if the try to Gallen and the subsequent conversion by Kimmorley, that pass there over the sideline will give the Sharks the ball back. You would think they can just seal this one up, cruise to the line now. It's hard to imagine how the Eagles can work their way down the field 3 times to score here with only 12.5 minutes left.
No, well, they can't warrant. The Sharks are playing some good football, and the execution of the Eagles has let them down tonight, and they're pumped up.
Peachy
Picking
it up. He's tackled here by Luke Dawn.
Straight up.
The passes gone to the target at times for the Sharks. They've taken a few chances run into the field, which in previous weeks they coughed up and given repeat sets of 6 to opposition teams, but tonight they haven't hurt them when they have made the odd mistake. 31 of 39 is their completion rate to this point of the game. Gibson comes to Kimmorley. A flat pass again, although the Seagulls are up in the defensive line. It bounces away though. Peachy, what a ball he got back for Matt Helder. They might want to take a look at this. Paul Simpkins will do exactly that.
On there,
They hadn't won the game with the Gallen try. This comes up as green lights for the Sharks. They will have the points tonight for the first time in 2003. There's another pass, a flat one from Kimmorley. He put Peachy under all sorts of pressure. Play on to that point. Peachy picked it up, I think. And then it's a lovely pass back on the inside to Hilda. Should be a try.
I think this might be a try warrant. The long pass from Kimmorley and Peachy. I think he's touched it, but I think it's gone backwards. And then the bounce favoured them. Yeah, I would say that's gone back. And then it's come back again to David Peachy. He's a magnet.
The bounce was a cruel one, wasn't it? The Seagulls, they were all there. 3 of them waiting for it to bounce onto their chest and then bounce back the other way, straight back to David Peachy. And that young man, Matt Hilda, came up with what we think will be a 4-pointer. Graham West again with the decision. Comes up with a try. That will seal it tonight, no doubt. It's 32 points to 10. After closing to within 2 points at the break, it's the Sharks who've gone on with things now with 4 unanswered tries in the second half. Kimmorley from right in front. With the extras, he makes it 34 points to 10. And the Awful first 8 weeks of the competition that this side has had to live through. Those memories will be erased in just a moment. Of course, plenty of big games coming up for them. They do have a game you would think they'd be looking to score another 2 points in next week when they take on the Rabbitohs right here at Toyota Park. Walker with the kickoff. Taken by this try scorer Hilda. Speaking of next week, Laurie, the Seagulls meet the Parramatta Eels next week over there at Brookvale. Takes us back to the clashes between those two sides in the early 80s. And isn't that a game that the Parramatta side desperately needs to win after going down by 2 points earlier this evening against the Warriors over there at Ericsson Stadium?
I'm sure both clubs would love the starting lineups of both those teams that played for the clubs throughout the 80s.
Gallen has it and will get a penalty as well here. Another chance for Kimmorley to put them deep on the attack. Certainly had the better of the penalties. 7-2 they are. The Eagles will look back on this game as one they probably cost themselves any chance of winning in the first 20 minutes. They trailed 12-0 and really luckily for them. This breeze was in the face of Brett Kimmorley when he's kicking for goals. Certainly cost them a bit of a chance to make it 18 points to nil. Peachy just a couple of metres away when he plays it here to Gibson. Kimmorley running at them. Menzies came off the line quickly to stop his run. Came from Vag. Hilda putting it on the toe for himself, coming quickly. He got to it. And Paul Simpkins says he can have number 2.
Tremendous effort, wasn't it? Matt Hilda. Only good players can do this. Put it on the toe and then chase through. Paddy Gibson, he's happy. He's giving high fives all round. The ability to slice it through, get there in time and put it down. The Sharks, aren't they happy? Great individual play by Matt Hilda.
And getting there in front of Brendan Reeves and also Scott Donald, who were coming at the death. It's a well-weighted little grubber as well by Hilda. And the boys can't believe it either. They love what they see now on the bench. The teammate they now call Waltzing has picked up 2 tries. And it's 40 points to 10 suddenly. They've blown it out, haven't they? 8 minutes left. They lead by 30. Kimmorley with the extra 2 once again. First 10 minutes of the second half. There was no change to the scoreline from the break. Chris Anderson will sleep easily tonight. Perhaps for the first time in 2003. It'll be a tremendous relief for the coach and the fans who have braved fairly cold conditions here tonight at Toyota Park to watch their side pick up their first points, and they'll move to 6. Dougal, play it for the Sea Eagles. Amono, well contained tonight by the Sharks. Here he is with an offload, that right arm again. And a lovely pass out to Scott Donald. The Sea Eagles are in. It is very much a case of too little too late for them. A lovely offload though from Amono, who suddenly has developed these passing skills.
Well, he's such a big man, Amono. They get 2 and 3 in the tackle. And if he can offload, there's got to be space somewhere in the line. They've had a little bit of success going down that right edge. Caught Phil Bailey out a number of times. That time the Sharks, they came up and in. Just a lovely ball from Chad Randall, finding the winger, Scott Donald. It's a hard pass to throw in the windy, breezy conditions. And Donald catching it over in the corner. And the Eagles have jagged one back. It's certainly not going to be enough.
Here is Ben Walker from just outside the 20, up against the sideline. Pretty good kick, coming back with the breeze. Well, how about that for a kick? Into a southerly gale here tonight at Toyota Park. And this was perfect. He started it outside the left-hand upright. It faded back on the breeze and had plenty on it as well. It'll be hard to beat the kick of the year. That's an incredible kick.
That is an extremely tough kick. And you would know, because you are a kicker of some note, taking Hazem El Masri down to the wire in a kick-off last year.
I know it's late in the night, but gee, that's a very long
Come on, give yourself one more rap about it.
Not tonight. The kickoff comes to the Sea Eagles. They trail by 24 with just over 5 left. Hamono. There's the man who started that, trying to get that right arm poised there, trying to get it over the head of Paul Gallen to come up with another offload. Walker cuts out one, comes to Hopewadi. Menzies outside him. There wasn't much happening for them. Well read by the Sharks defence. Emilio has been solid on the left-hand side for them tonight. Here's a ball from Cannings. Walker couldn't hang on to it. Now it's going to be picked up by Matt Hilder, who will dive on it for the Sharks. Another chance here to add to this scoreline. Perhaps they've got 50 in mind. A couple of tries still in this game for them, if there certainly is time for them. Nathan Bagg. Certainly is the size of a lad, the 20-year-old. Kimmorley back on the inside. Nothing. They play it just outside the Eagles' 20. Gibson comes to Kimmorley. He had Peachy with him. Straight through he went, the Peach. Good tackle, though, by Reeves around the bootlaces, stops him. Here's Kimmorley hustling back Gallen. He would love another one. Kimmorley again. Just kicks it off the deck this time, and Cannings is there for the Eagles. They'll try anything at the moment.
Oh, Peachy certainly had a better second half. He's looked dangerous every time he touched the football. What about the tackle from Brendan Reeves? He would have scored that try 9 times out of 10 against most players, David Peachy. Just a tremendous cover tackle by the fullback.
What now is almost away. Here's Randall going a long way. In fact, he'll keep going. He fired a pass back to Paul Simpkins, who says, don't give it to me, I don't want it. He's got there for Manly as they come to Luke Dawn. Eyes the ball knocked on by Hamono. Came on tackle number 5, so that will be scrum for the Sharks as opposed to the turnover. Already, perhaps the Eagles be thinking about that clash next week against the Parramatta Eels. It'll be a very big game for both teams. The Eagles had won 3 straight before losing by just a lone point to the Panthers last week. They will need a victory to keep touch with the top 8. While the Eels just need a win to get themselves anywhere near the top 8 next week. Mired on 4 points after 9 games. Kimmorley, the ball ripped out of his hands, he will argue. But Paul Simpkins doesn't see it that way. He says the halfback knocked it on. And what was a rapid-fire game at times in the second half, with the Sharks scoring plenty of points in succession. It's just fallen away in the last couple of minutes with both sides looking to get to the sheds to get out of the cold. Reeves, to the right-hand side, will play it at his own 30-metre line. Torrens. I've been lucky not to be placed on report for the tackle around the neck of Greg Bird. Of course, the video review committee does have the chance to look at that on Monday morning and decide if Albert Torrens is charged to answer. Hopewadi gets up limping. Walker from Dawn comes to Scott Donald. Will be stopped here by Kimmorley. Of course, a number of these players were hoping to impress tonight with City Countrysides to be selected tomorrow night for next Friday night's fixture up there in Gosford. You would think the likes of Jason Stevens, who had a pretty good game carrying the ball forward, wouldn't have done his chances any harm, and likewise for David Peachy. See if those who are perhaps on the fringe of New South Wales selection, the likes of John Hopewadi, who's been getting plenty of raps. I don't think his game tonight would have done his chances too much good. It'll be a certainty for the City side next week, but I don't know about his game tonight doing his New South Wales chances much good.
Well, he tries extremely hard, Hopewadi. A lot of hit-ups. Uses a lot of energy in his game. And again, he's been terrific for the Eagles tonight, just carting the football over. But the Sharks, on the other hand, have handled him quite well. Defensively, they've worked hard from marker. They've got up. They've limited his metres. He still gets involved.
Here he is again, taking the ball across the halfway line. He's tackled there by Andrew Amelia. As we're inside the last 60 seconds, Walker cuts a couple out, gives it to Williamson. They'll finish coming at them in a rush. Here the Eagles. Walker, a ball on the outside again to Scott Donald, who already has one try tonight to show for it. Bailey got there and forced him across the touchline. And that will just about do it here tonight at Toyota Park. It took until round 9 of the season, but the Sharks have finally opened their account for 2003. And they'll be handsome winners here. Both sides are in no hurry to get to the scrum. And with just 5 seconds left, they might be happy for the siren to blow and to cause a cessation to the game tonight. And that's exactly what we have. I'll shake hands. And at last, these Sharks fans can stand and applaud their side. They've booed them from the field a couple of times for weeks gone by. But tonight they're happy. Their side have beaten the Sea Eagles 40 points to 16 here at Toyota Park.